Hi, my name is Tim Buwick for Total Pickleball. Greetings from sunny Naples, Florida. We're going to talk about 4 elements of spin: what it is, how to hit it, when to use it, and how to defend against it. Essentially, there are 2 types of spins that we can use in pickleball. One is topspin, and the other is underspin. Let's talk about topspin first. Topspin is a shot where we actually brush up on the back side of the ball, causing the ball to dip. Now, there's many different ways that we can use this to great effectiveness in pickleball. First, let's talk about how to hit it. Essentially, what we do in hitting a topspin shot is we start low. So we have the paddle below our hip, and then our point of contact comes from below the ball, and then we brush up through the ball, creating a spin that is a forward motion. What happens with this spin is that the ball drops. It's used very effectively on the drive when someone's at the line, and it forces them to hit low on the volley. Now, what happens when a topspin shot hits the court? It will have a tendency to jump forward or jump up and propel. So you can get a lot of speed, a lot of power with this shot because it dips over the net, so we can have a higher margin for error when hitting topspin. In talking about topspin as well as underspin, which we'll get to in a minute, there's 2 variables that are key. One is paddle face angle, and the other is swing path. Okay, let's talk about topspin first. In topspin, our paddle face angle is going to be flat or even closed on the backswing. Okay, now on the swing path, what we do is we come up through the ball. We come up through the ball toward our target. And the key thing with that is that it allows us to propel the ball through low to high through our target. Now the question is, when do I use topspin? There's really 3 major times that we use topspin. One is on the serve. When we set up for the serve, we drive it through. The forehand drive is essentially the exact same motion. Low, either a flat or closed paddle face through the ball on a forehand drive. We want to do that to get the ball to dip at the player who's at the non-volley zone line. A third reason why we use the topspin is with the forehand roll, where we'll drop the paddle face and then we'll come up through the ball, driving it hopefully through our opponent. Those are 3 effective uses for topspin. Now let's talk about how to hit the topspin. Elements to consider. One is the angle of the paddle face, and also it's the swing path. A third element to talk about is what grip do I use with topspin? Essentially, it's an Eastern forehand grip. This is a continental, this is an Eastern forehand where the knuckle is on the side of the paddle. What we do in hitting a topspin, we bring the paddle back, the paddle face is perpendicular or flat, maybe even slightly closed. We make contact low through the ball with a high follow through. A lot of times I will tell people, you want to make sure that your chin touches your shoulder when you do the follow through on this shot, all the way through. That's how we hit the topspin. So now, how do we defend against the topspin? You might be playing a player that has heavy topspin, that really has an exaggerated topspin. What does it do? What's the effect on you as the returner or the defender of this? What happens on a topspin shot is that it has a tendency to jump high and towards you. So how to defend it is we need to know that when we're defending and hitting a topspin shot, it will have a tendency to propel itself and jump off the paddle face in an upward angle. So we want to do 2 things in order to defend against the topspin. 1, abbreviate your backswing under a lot of control because this ball's going to jump off your paddle. The second thing that you want to do is you want to be very precise in what we want to do with this shot. Key thing, margin of error. This ball is going to be jumping off the paddle face, so what we want to do is we want to increase our aim above the net and also give us a little extra room on the sidelines, because with this margin for error, the ball jumps off the paddle face. It's hard to be as precise as you normally would. Now let's talk about underspin. As you may have guessed, it's the opposite of topspin. The spin goes in an opposite direction. So where topspin propels forward, underspin is just what it describes. It goes underneath and tends to stay low. So the result of underspin is that it stays low on the court, the ball path tends to stay higher or float, and then the bounce is much lower as well. So let's talk about how to hit underspin. Underspin, unlike topspin where we go low to high, underspin is high to low. We want to open up the paddle face, and our swing path is high to low directly through the ball. Now the way that we want to do this is we adjust our grip to a continental grip. It's a grip that we use for volleys, all right? So on the underspin, we want to come high to low, soft hands, light grip, and we want to underspin through the ball. Some call it a slice through the ball. The key thing here is that we don't want to do it like we're chopping or cutting or slicing a turkey. Some people try to do this. No, we want to go through, so you want to go toward your target. Elongate the swing path. Two areas in particular where I like to use underspin and it's particularly effective. One is on the service return. Often I will use an underspin. The reason why, remember I said that on an underspin the ball has a tendency to float? This gives me extra time to get to the line. Remember when you're returning serve, every single time without exception, we go to the line. So underspin is very effective for two reasons. As I mentioned, it gives us time to get to the line, but also the ball stays low. So the tendency is that players could hit it into the net. This gives us more time to get to the spot where we want to be. Now, how to defend against underspin. I see this all the time. I can tell when a server is going to be hitting underspin because oftentimes they'll bring the paddle up and they'll get ready to serve, and I can see, oh, they're going to hit an underspin. I know that if I'm playing someone who's somewhat inexperienced in it, odds are they're going to hit the return in the net. Why? The result of underspin is it has a tendency to propel down off the paddle face. So what we need to do is we need to get down lower, okay? We need to get lower underneath the ball and have a higher margin for error. We have to aim a little bit higher. Underspin can give people problems because the ball doesn't bounce up as high. So the key is get the paddle low, get your body low. For more tips and tricks, go to totalpickleball.com.